who's using real estate to make their money work for them. Let's see if Northeast PA is the right place for you to do just that. And thanks for coming by the Living in NEPA channel, where we talk about what it's like to live, move, and invest here in Northeast Pennsylvania. We are also a team of realtors, and we would love a chance to win your real estate business. So give us a call, text, or email anytime. Our phone number and email are right there on the screen. The first thing you need to ask yourself when buying an investment property is, number one, what kind of investor are you? Before you even start looking at properties, you need to figure out what kind of investor you are. A lot of people say, I want an investment property, but that can mean very different things. Are you looking to buy and hold long term? Are you thinking about house hacking and living in one unit? Are you okay doing some light cosmetic or value add updates over time? I've seen a lot of people come in wanting one thing, but once we run the numbers and talk through the current market and their opinions, their strategy completely changes, and usually it makes more sense. If you're brand new, I usually recommend avoiding heavy rehabs, flips, or jumping straight into short-term rentals. Those can be great, just not always great for your first deal. Number two, budget. This is probably the biggest mistake I see first-time investors make. They focus on the purchase price and forget about everything else. Investors don't buy based on emotion, they buy based on numbers. Are you making the profit you want to make every month and over time? It's important to understand income, expenses, and what's actually left over at the end of the month. The 5 numbers every investor needs to focus on is income, expenses, NOI, short for net operating income, debt payment, and cash flow. And you can easily find 2 units in this area, particularly anywhere between 140 to 300,000. I mean, even more than that, and really, but what I would say is anything over 275 is pretty ridiculous unless there's proof it's cash flowing. And cash flow is cash flow regardless of the price that you're at. And I'll go through a little scenario in a bit here. Number 3, location and quality are key. In the NEPA area, particularly, the location and quality of a rental go hand in hand. People care about where they're living, but they also care about the quality or condition that the place is in that they will be renting. 2 properties can be in the same city or town and perform differently as rentals because of this. The rental market is saturated, okay? This means that renters have more choices to choose from. So when you're buying an investment, take into consideration walkability, access to highways, hospitals, shopping, because all of that plays a role. Our area is very eclectic, so you can find multi-units in every town between and including Scranton and Wilkes Barre. Number 4, financing. Another misconception is that you need a massive down payment to invest, and that's not always the case. Depending on the property and how you plan to use it, you may qualify for conventional financing, FHA, if you're house hacking and if it's your first property, or even a DSCR loan, which is based on the NOI for the property and the total debt service or total mortgage payment for the property. And we can get into these details in another video, but for now, we're just gonna stay pretty surface level. Generally speaking, as a first-time home buyer, you can identify a multifamily home up to 4 units as your primary residence. That's 3.5% down on a 4-unit money-making property. I mean, you'll be making money off of 3 units, but you get the point. And this is where having a lender who understands this area's investment properties and strategies really matters. So if the purchase price is, say, $200,000, at 3.5%, you're looking at a $7,000 down payment, or even a 3 to 5% conventional loan. That will be $6,000 to $10,000 down. It really doesn't take big numbers to make big and life-changing moves in this area. Number 5, rent and utilities. One of the top rookie mistakes you can make as a new investor is guessing the rent or basing it off of your surface level Google search. If the rent doesn't support the debt, it's not a deal, period. You need a property to cash flow. Cash flow is found after the mortgage payment is subtracted from the NOI, which we talked about earlier. So you will want to look at things like current leases, comparable rentals, and who is paying the utilities, which is also another important factor when you are buying a multi-unit property. Who is paying the utilities, and is the rent high enough to cover the utilities if you are paying them? Just some things you should be thinking about. Also, here are some approximate ranges for rents in the area. These do not account for utilities, amenities, square feet, or location, anything like that. Number 6, maintenance expenses. Most investment properties in this area are older homes, which means you need to separate maintenance expenses from capital expenses. Maintenance is the smaller recurring costs and items like paint, railings, flooring, cosmetic things like that. CapEx expenses like roof, plumbing, electrical, and heating systems, they need to be planned for, and you'll want to understand what's been updated and what hasn't. A little quick story here. So I had a client who bought a building, and of course we had an inspection on it. Long story short, there was mold, which is found in almost every older home in the area, and that accounts for like 90% of the homes. But anyway, we had a mold remediation company come out and check it out, and it turned out to be a $30,000 job. So that saved her a lot of money. And luckily we were able to negotiate. And in the same sense, jumping off of that, I had another client that had an inspection where the roof, it was a flat roof and it was older. So, we had our contractor go out there. It ended up needing replacement. So that saved my client about $13,000. So, listen, an inspection is wonderful and recommended, and it will help you to understand exactly what you are going to be getting yourself into when you obtain ownership and become a homeowner. But I want to say this. Number 1, it is very, very, very likely that the inspection report will be 50 to 100 pages long with all the issues from the roof to the foundation. An inspection report is rarely, and I mean close to never, clean with absolutely no issues, because why would you pay $500 or $600 for nothing to be on the inspection report? That's kind of silly and a waste of money in my opinion. And number 2, it is very, very, very unlikely that you will be able to negotiate every single item listed on the inspection report to have fixed, repaired, or given a credit for. So focus on your big CapEx expenses when you are having an inspection done. Number 7, it's scenario time. So let's start with the conventional 5% down option on a 2-unit. This is a true investment property. You don't have to live here. So let's say each side is a 3-bed, 1-bath renting for about $1,500 a month with separate utilities. So you're bringing in about $3,000 a month. After expenses and the mortgage, you're cash flowing a little over $300 a month. Now, if you're local and you're going to manage it yourself, take out that management fee and your cash flow goes up another $200, about $540 a month. So on the other hand, we're going to move over to an FHA house hacking version of the exact same property. Now, with this FHA loan, you're bringing a little less cash to the table, but you do have to live in one of the units for at least a year. So you rent out the other side, the 3-bed, 1-bath for $1,500 a month with separate utilities, which brings your actual cost of living under $1,000 a month. So instead of paying full market rent somewhere else, you're living here cheaper, building equity, and saving money for the next year so you can buy something else after you refinance and rent the side that you're living in out for $1,500. And you see where I'm going with this? You see the cycle? This is why house hacking is such a powerful first investment strategy. And it's not that hard. There are also tons of scenarios where you can make positive cash flow work for an FHA loan. There really just isn't one right answer and one right path to go on. Number 8, build a local team. This is huge, guys. Investing is not a solo thing, especially in this area. Your realtor, lender, inspector, and contractors matter just as much as the property itself. Your team can make or break your experience. I actually just had a client call me who started investing in this area about 5 years ago and then ventured off into another state, and he was sharing with me how in this other state he did not have a team, a good team, a reliable team. No one to go out to properties as soon as they hit the market, no reliable property managers, no reliable recommendations, and therefore is now selling everything that he has there and moving it back into this area. Why? Because he has a team here, he has stability here. So having a trusted and reliable team built around your needs is very important. I will say, good property managers come very slim to none. However, I luckily have 2 so far phenomenal recommendations that I can share with you if you need. Just reach out. All right, so I always tell first-time investors this: your first deal doesn't need to be perfect or flashy. It just needs to make sense and align with your long-term goals. Being more conservative, patient, and realistic usually leads to better long-term results. If you're thinking about buying your first investment property in the Wilkes Barre or Scranton area or anywhere in between, drop any additional questions in the comments or just reach out to me personally. I'm always trying to do my best and help and guide everyone that I can. And always, if you want help looking at deals or running numbers, we would love to help you. And as always, if you or anyone you know is looking to buy, sell, or like we've been talking about, invest in real estate, we would love to help you. Our phone number and email are right there on the screen and in the description down below. Thanks so much for watching, guys.